Okay, so get this. What if the key to unlocking true AI isn't about teaching machines to think like us?
Interesting.
What if it's about teaching them to think like the universe?
Okay, I like where you're going with this.
That's what we're diving into today
Yeah.
with this research paper that's kind of sending ripples through the AI world.
Yeah, it's a fascinating departure from like traditional AI, where we typically train models on massive data sets, essentially just mirroring human knowledge, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This research explores whether intelligence could emerge from something far more fundamental: complexity.
Okay, so instead of showing an AI a million pictures of cats,
Right.
we're talking about what? Showing it the Big Bang.
Well, not quite that dramatic, but
Okay.
the idea is to expose AI to systems that are inherently complex,
Okay.
even if they don't appear intelligent, on the
Yeah,
surface.
right.
The researchers in this paper use something called elementary cellular automata,
Elementary cellular automata.
or ECAs.
ECAs. Let me guess. It's more exciting than it sounds.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, so imagine like a line of cells,
Okay.
each one like a tiny, tiny light switch that can be either on or off.
Okay.
And each cell's fate, whether it flips on or off, is determined by a simple set of rules based on its current state and its two neighbors.
So, like a tiny neighborhood with very specific rules about who gets to turn their porch light on.
Exactly.
They're up.
And here's where it gets wild.
Okay.
Despite the simplicity of these rules, ECAs can generate mind-blowingly complex and diverse patterns.
Oh,
Some are repetitive,
okay.
some appear totally random, and others form these intricate, almost fractal-like structures. It's a glimpse into how complexity can arise from incredibly basic building blocks.
Okay, I'm starting to see why scientists are obsessed with these things. It's like peeking behind the curtain of reality, seeing how patterns emerge from these elegant, simple rules.
Precisely. And ECAs aren't just a mathematical curiosity. They, pop up everywhere. From how galaxies cluster to the patterns on a seashell. They're even used in cryptography, computer science education. They're a powerful tool for understanding complex systems.
So we've got our complex but not inherently intelligent
Yeah.
ECAs.
Right.
How did the researchers actually connect these to AI? Like, what was their experiment?
Okay, so they took a modified version of GPT-2,
Okay.
a powerful AI model you might know from its language processing abilities,
Sure.
and they essentially gave it an ECA crash course.
Uh-huh.
They trained separate instances of GPT-2 on different ECAs with the goal of having the AI predict how each ECA would evolve based on its unique set of rules.
So, like teaching the AI to predict which porch lights will flick on and off next, based on that neighborhood's rulebook.
A perfect analogy. And they didn't stop at predicting just one step ahead.
Yeah.
They also challenged the AI to predict 5 steps into the future, making the task even more demanding.
Okay, so we have our AI models becoming masters of predicting these ECAs.
Right.
But how do you test if they've actually gained something we could call intelligence? I mean, predicting a light show, even a crazy complex one, doesn't necessarily make you Einstein.
That's the real question here, right?
Yeah.
How do you actually measure intelligence when it might not look like what we expect?
Exactly, yeah, because it's easy to test if a machine can, like, I don't know, solve an equation or write a poem.
Right.
But how do you test if it's actually thinking about complexity in a meaningful way?
So for that, they designed some pretty clever tests.
Okay.
Think of it like a final exam after that ECA crash course we talked about.
Right.
They called these downstream tasks basically new challenges.
Okay.
Designed to see if the AI could transfer its experience with complexity to, totally different problems.
Okay, so what kind of final exam are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Did they make the AI do taxes? Because if they aced that, I'm convinced we've reached peak artificial intelligence.
Taxes might be a bit much, even for these AIs.
Okay.
They started with something a bit more fundamental, reasoning puzzles.
Okay.
They presented the AI with 2 sets of these puzzles, one easy and one significantly harder.
Okay.
This was to test, different levels of logic skills.
All right.
Could the AI apply its understanding of patterns and rules to solve problems that had nothing to do with, predicting lights on a grid?
So it's like, if you spent weeks mastering a complex strategy game and then someone handed you a Sudoku puzzle.
Right.
You haven't played Sudoku before, but the core skills of like pattern recognition and strategic thinking might give you an edge.
That's a great way to think about it.
Right.
Here's the real test.
Okay.
The one that had everyone in the AI community buzzing.
Okay.
They also had the AI models predict chess moves.
Chess. Now that's a whole different ballgame. Chess is like considered the gold standard of strategic thinking, even for humans.
Exactly. And remember, these AIs weren't trained on chess games at all.
Right.
Their whole world had been those simple one-dimensional ECAs.
Right.
So the chess challenge was a test to see if experiencing and mastering complexity in one domain could actually translate into a completely unrelated domain that also requires like high-level intelligence.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat here.
Let's
Did any of the AI crack the code and become like chess grandmasters?
Well, they're not ready to take on Magnus Carlsen just yet.
Right.
But the results were still pretty astounding.
Right.
The AI models that were trained on more complex ECA rules consistently outperformed the others in every single downstream task.
Really?
They were better at solving both the easy and the hard logic puzzles.
Wow.
And yes, they even got better at predicting those chess moves.
Hold on. So let me get this straight.
Yeah.
The more complexity the AI was exposed to during its training,
Right.
the better it performed in solving those unrelated problems.
It's incredible, right?
It's incredible.
Yeah, but it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
AI models trained on rules that were either too simple or too chaotic didn't perform as well.
Okay.
There seems to be a sweet spot.
Too simple, I get, right? It's like trying to teach someone advanced calculus when they haven't even learned, like, basic arithmetic.
Right.
But why wouldn't complete chaos lead to smarter AI? Like, I mean, isn't the universe supposed to be inherently unpredictable?
That's a great question. It's tempting to think that way,
Right.
but there's a crucial difference between complexity that's truly random and complexity that arises from underlying rules, even if those rules are, like, hidden. There's this fascinating concept called the edge of chaos that might help explain this.
Edge of chaos. Okay, I like the sound of that. Tell me more.
So imagine a system that's complex, ever-changing, challenging to predict, like the weather or the stock market.
Right.
Beneath what appears to be randomness, there's often an underlying structure. There are patterns, there are rules.
Right.
That's the edge of chaos, that sweet spot where things are complex but not completely unpredictable.
Okay.
And what this research suggests is that this edge of chaos might be the crucible where intelligence is most likely to emerge.
So it's not just about throwing any kind of chaos at AI and hoping for the best.
Right.
It's about finding that Goldilocks zone of complexity where there's enough structure for learning, but also enough challenge to push the boundaries of what the AI can understand.
Precisely.
Okay.
And here's another fascinating finding.
Okay.
Even the AI models trained on simpler ECAs were coming up with more sophisticated solutions than were strictly necessary.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Like they were showing off a little.
In a way, yeah. Remember how the ECAs are, how they're memoryless?
Right.
Each state is determined only by the present moment.
Right.
So in theory, the AI could have just memorized the simple ECA rule and applied it each time to make its predictions.
Right.
But that's not what happened.
Intriguing. So what were they doing instead?
The researchers analyzed what parts of the ECA's history the AI was paying attention to while it was making its predictions.
Okay.
It's a bit like, I don't know, like figuring out what a student is focusing on during an exam to understand their thought process.
Ah, so they were looking inside the AI's brain, so to speak,
Right.
while it was working on the problem. What'd they find?
They discovered that the AI models trained on those more complex ECA rules weren't just looking at the present state of the cells.
Okay.
They were actually paying attention to past states.
Wow.
Almost like they were building a deeper understanding of the system's underlying mechanics. It suggests they were thinking ahead, strategizing, just like a skilled chess player would.
Wow. So they were learning more than just the basic rules of the game. They were developing a sense of the system's history, its patterns of behavior over time.
Exactly.
That's remarkable.
It is remarkable, and this is a really big deal because it suggests that these AI models weren't just memorizing rules.
Okay.
They were developing a more general understanding of how complex systems behave.
Right.
They were learning, in a sense, the language of complexity.
Okay, so now we're getting to the heart of it.
Yeah.
Are we saying that the key to true AI might not be teaching it to be more human-like, but rather exposing it to the raw, inherent complexity of the universe itself? It's like we've been trying to teach AI to read from textbooks?
Right.
When we should have been sending it on expeditions to explore the Amazon rainforest.
It's a powerful analogy. This research suggests that complexity itself might be the missing ingredient, the catalyst that pushes AI from mimicking patterns to actually understanding them.
And if that's true, it makes you think about human intelligence in a whole new light, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Like, are we really that special?
Right, because we think of intelligence as this, pinnacle of evolution, something that sets humans apart. But what if, at its core, intelligence is simply our way of navigating a world that is inherently complex and unpredictable? Our brains evolved to find patterns, to make sense of chaos, to predict the future, just like those AI models grappling with ECAs.
So instead of seeing intelligence as something unique to us that we're trying to recreate in machines,
Right.
maybe it's more about, like, tapping into something fundamental about how the universe itself works.
Precisely. And we're just starting to scratch the surface of understanding complexity's role in intelligence.
Right.
Both artificial and biological, right?
Yeah.
But this research opens up a whole new avenue for exploration.
So where do we go from here? Like,
Yeah.
what are the next steps in exploring this complexity frontier in AI?
So imagine training an AI not just on neatly labeled data sets, right?
Right.
But on the vast, messy, interconnected data of the real world.
Oh, wow.
What if we could create AI systems that learn not from us, but with us as we navigate the complexities of our planet and beyond?
It's a mind-blowing thought. Instead of trying to hand code intelligence,
All right.
maybe we need to step back and create the conditions for it to emerge naturally
Yeah.
through interaction with complexity itself.
And who knows what amazing things we might discover when AI starts speaking the language of the universe, right?
Yeah.
New solutions to old problems, deeper insights into our own minds,
Right.
perhaps even a glimpse into the fundamental nature of reality itself.
It's like we're at the dawn of a new era of exploration.
Right.
Not with spaceships and telescopes, but with algorithms and data.
Perhaps complexity is all you need.
That's a thought-provoking note to end on. So all our listeners out there, the next time you're marveling at, I don't know, like the intricate dance of fireflies on a summer night, or trying to predict the next move in a game of chess, just remember, you might be witnessing the very essence of intelligence unfolding before your eyes. Thanks for joining us on this mind-bending deep dive. We'll catch you next time.